So the philosophy is most people play defense in their lives and in their business. They do not play offense. If you got a sales team, they do not play offense. I'm telling you, they do not play offense, okay? And I'm going to show you what that means. They react versus create. They react versus create. And you're going to grow in today's economy organically if you do a decent job at all. You're going to pick up referrals. But how many more referrals could you pick up if you were actually initiating conversation? Okay? If you were actually initiating conversation, how many more referrals would you pick up? Like when I went into Vail, I spoke at one thing. I could have been meeting with people. I could have taken 5 or 6 meetings while I was in Vail, Colorado. Does that make sense? I could. There's always more I could do. There's always more people I could talk to. Okay? Now we coach a company for you financial advisors, we coach a company in Houston, Texas that's managing $6 billion of money. And it's 2 dudes. That's a lot of cheese for 2 dudes to manage. $6 billion. Get your mind around that. They average picking up 12 new clients a year. And I'm like, 12? I'm like, that's it? One of them is 74 years old, and he hired me because he said I'm ready to get serious. I'm like, it's good. It's about time to get serious, okay? It's about time. He's 74 years old, but the dude's got a bunch of money. He's managing high net worth individuals' money or companies' pensions, big deals. And I'm like, tell me what your plan is. He said, one of the things that makes us better than everybody else, once a quarter we go see every one of our clients. We got 100 clients, and we sit down and talk to them exactly about how much money they're making. I'm like, great, this is good. Have you ever one time asked those clients to refer you to somebody else? Well, no, we're not really doing that. So you're going to see them in person. They're flying. Let's say you're the client. They're flying into Nashville to meet with you. And they've never one time said, Jason, who else in Nashville do we need to be meeting with? They've never said, can we have a dinner party? You invite some of your wealthy friends and let's get together, right? They've never said, let me stay an extra day over in Nashville and take meetings with people. So in the first month I was coaching them, they moved from 1 client to 3 clients. And I'm like, this is good. 3 times 12, 36. If we increase you from 12 clients a year to 36 at the rate you're going at, how much more? You could move from 6 billion to 10 billion by doing just one thing. Asking a simple question. Who else do I need to be helping? Everybody see that? How many of you are guilty of playing defense and just waiting on business to happen versus taking that kind of initiative right there? Raise your hand. Everybody is. Okay, I've lived here for 23 or 24 years. I don't know. You know how many bankers have called on me in this city? 0. You know how many insurance people have ever called on me? Less than 5. You know how many mortgage people have ever called on me? Less than 5. Do you know how many, I don't understand. I'm confused. Okay, Lakin just bought a house. You know how many real estate agents called on Lakin before she bought the house? 0. She's living in an apartment. Okay. Nobody ever said to her, hey, when you do choose to buy a house, I'd love to represent you. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like this is my point, guys. This is defense, okay? So when you think about this, I have to get you in a mindset of attack. A mindset of attack, right? I'm thinking about Saturday night. We went down to Nashville with Tommy Davidson, and we walked into a place, and a dude behind me was kind of rude to me, and he's like, move. Y'all need to move. Okay? And I think because Jorge's got me working out every day, my testosterone's really high. And I turn around, I'm like, you need to learn how to be nice to people. I'm like, my wife's like, what is going on with you? Like why are you so aggressive? I'm like, do you live in Nashville? Obviously not, because people in Nashville are hospitable. You don't even talk to people like that in Nashville. Everybody's with me like, what is wrong with him? Like, I'm never aggressive like that. But for some reason, I was aggressive that night. Now, my point is, I need to get you in a mindset about being aggressive with your business. Okay? So let's look at this. How do you use your weekends? This is where this whole thing starts. To me, how many of you at some point in your life use your weekends to escape from the week? Okay? Now, I'm going to tell you this because I was one of those people. I worked hard through the week. I partied all weekend. I drank too much. I was hungover. You understand what I'm saying? I drug into Monday. Like Monday, I was like trying to get it back going. I didn't think about my weeks. And then at some point, I don't know how old I was, but at some point I said, man, I want to be a high-performance person. The way I use my weekends is really critical. Now, If you use your weekends right, when you come in on Monday, you're not just a little bit better than you were last week. You could be significantly better. What would make me significantly better this week than I was last week? What would have to happen to me on the weekends for me to come into Monday and if some people were like, my team is like, dang, he found a new gear. Like he's operating at a whole new frequency. And last week he was operating at a high frequency. What would have to happen on the weekends? How many of y'all feel like at some point in your life you use the weekends to escape from your life? Right? I think low performance people spend weekends escaping from their life. I worked hard, now I'm going to play hard all weekend. Okay? Now, when I made this shift, let me tell you what's the biggest thing I started doing. I started taking the weekends to study people. I'm spending time with my family. I take Saturday off. I'm spending time with my daughter. I'm spending time with my wife. But I may take 2 or 3 bike rides. I may go work out once. I may do this. And I choose somebody every weekend to study. When I say study, I mean watch every interview they've ever done. I'm not talking about like watch one thing. I'm talking like go deep on a person. Like this person is doing big things. I want to watch every podcast they've been on. I want to listen to everything they've ever said. Like I'm going to spend the whole weekend getting new data, getting new information. So when I come in on Monday, I got new ideas. I got fresh ideas, right? I'm going to recreate on the weekends versus escape. I'm going to spend my weekends recreating. Mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Everybody see that? Okay? I'm going to nourish all 4 parts of my nature. I'm going to spend time with my family. I'm going to spend time with myself. I'm going to spend time get my spiritual piece right. For me, that's on Sunday. For me, that's going to church. That's my style. I'm gonna spend 3 or 4 hours on Sunday planning and mapping out. I work 3 or 4 hours on Sunday. I take Saturday off. Does that make sense? Because I'm a creative, and on Sunday I create. So when you see me create, what I'm doing is I'm mental mapping. Now, the reason I want to show you this is because people always ask me, where do ideas start? When you see mental mapping, this is an example of what mental mapping is. When you mental map, I was doing this on the plane last night. What I was writing down last night was every influencer that I know who can help me. So if you're looking at this, you see Story, Milet, Cardone, you see Maxwell, Lecter, Tim Grover. These are big time people. Brad Lee. What I'm doing is I'm mapping out all the people who can help me reach my goals. They're not going to help me reach my goals unless I do what? Reach out to them. So I reached out to Brad Lee the other day and I said, hey, can you get me on the podcast, the Wolf of Wall Street podcast? He said, consider it done. What could that do for my career if 500,000 people watch me on that podcast? See, I know all these people. What I have not done is reach out to these people and say, can you help me do this? Can you help me advance? Can you help me do this? Now, the reason I'm telling you this, because offense is about what, Scott? Initiating. We paid $12,000 not long ago to go to Denver to learn one thing, how to get on bigger stages. One of the first exercises they made us do is right now write down 25 people that you would consider a champion of you who will help you get on these stages. It took us less than 10 minutes to write 25 people down. All the people we wrote down, we already knew. We just had never reached out to them. Right? The $12,000 made me want to reach out to them. It made me get serious about reaching out to them, right? So the way I do this is I come into the week and I mental map. And I'm going to have you pretend it's Sunday. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at the way I mental map on Sunday is I start in the middle and I put a concept. This concept is unique to me. Your concept is going to be different than mine. Everybody with me? I don't care what the concept is. Refocus. Mine this week has been optimization. How do I optimize networks? Then I begin putting big rocks in. See, what I begin doing is I begin drawing big rocks. These are projects for the week. These are big, important projects. These are the big rocks. These are things that will move a statistic in my business or in my life. Could they be personal things? Yes. I may put daddy-daughter night, date night, Friday night with my daughter. I may put, it's yours. It's nobody else's but yours. But these are the 6 to 7 things you got to do this week to move the ball down the field. Okay, we're moving to a profit-first model. I made up my mind this morning. We're moving to a profit-first model. I told Katie within the next 90 days I want this implemented. End of discussion. Okay, that's been on my sheet. Move the accounting to the profit-first model. Okay, that's just an accounting model. Then I may say initiate conversation with these 5 people. I may say optimize these 2 relationships. I may say plan this. Like it's just big things. Everybody see that? And this is on Sunday. We haven't got into the granular planning. We're basically just saying this week, this is what I'm manifesting. I'm going to manifest these things, okay? Now, I want you to take a second and I want you to practice this. You have it on your handouts, this mental mapping. And pretend these are buckets that you have. And let's say that this is, you're coming into the week or even start planning for next week. I want you to write down 6 or 7 things that have been on your mind for a while that you have not taken action on that will move a statistic in your business. How many of you need to be planning more events? Raise your hand. Okay, that ought to be on your thing. How many of you need to form 4 or 5 more strategic partnerships with people? That needs to be on your sheet. How many of you need to, I don't care what it is you need to do. Okay? For me, a couple weeks ago, I said, I'm going to sell these properties. I'm going to sell these 3 properties. Boom, boom, boom. That was on my sheet. Everybody see that? So what I'm doing on Sunday is I'm kind of going, this is what's going to happen this week. These are big projects that are happening this week. I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. Take a second right now and pretend you're coming into the week or drawing it up.